What it is, YouTube? It's your boy Nitzy coming back with another bullseye of a tutorial here today on the channel. All right, so today we're gonna do the Future V2 preset here today. So if you guys like the video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Drop a comment down below, suggest more artists. And also, if you guys do want to get this super hot fire Future V2 vocal preset, check it in the description. All right, so let's get to it today. How to get that Future vocal sound that Future sound, bruh. And this is a really dope song, too hard to handle with him and Young Scooter. So let's get to it. Let's hear it.
I'm affiliated with them ones that's gon' bring hell through. Power 4 in the 16, I'm a real nigga stand up. I throw 117, race bitches just go gamble. I'm a real street nigga, therefore I'm hard to handle. I'm affiliated with them ones that's gon' bring hell through. Power 4 in the 16, I'm a real nigga stand up. I throw 117, race bitches just go gamble. I'm a real street nigga, therefore I'm hard to handle.
Okay, so that's me doing my best impression of Future. So a guy like Future, it's a situation where his vocal is already packed with so much presence and density, and it's just a way where it's like we're gonna be like a butcher and figure out how to cut the meat off the ribs, you feel me? How to get that T-bone steak cut in the proper way, you feel me? His vocal is already very full and robust. So very first thing with Future is the auto-tune. I know a guy like Future, I think what he usually raps on is like 0 retune speed, you know, because when you rap on like 0 retune speed and you start out, like the auto-tune is going to be like almost like so picky and stingy. Imagine it being like your school teacher, you know, correcting your test saying, you got this wrong, you got this wrong, you got this wrong. You feel me? That's what the auto-tune is going to become, a stingy ass, nagging ass teacher. You feel me? So it's good to kind of start off on 0 retune speed, because that way you're going to ensure that you're getting the best take. Like if you hit one bad note, the auto-tune's going to be like, you fucked up right there. You fucked up right there. So I personally like to do this. I learned this from like, you know, Future, like just studying his engineers and stuff like that, like rapping on a stupid high retune speed. And then once the whole verse is done, you know, you pull it back a little bit. You feel me? So that's a gem. That's how I go about doing it. Now, of course, it's going to sound bad, but you're going to have to challenge yourself to actually get a good vocal take. You feel me? Because if you get the perfect vocal take, you know, that is in tune, auto tune is gonna be like, bruh, what the fuck you want me to do? You feel me? I'm auto tuned. There's nothing to automatically tune. This vocal take is perfect. You feel me? So yeah, that's how you get that smooth auto tune sound. You feel me? Put it on 0, challenge yourself, and then once the verse is you know done, you pull it back a little bit. So let's hear with and without.
I'm affiliated with them ones that's gon' bring hell through. Power 4 in the 16, I'm a real nigga stand up. I throw 117, bracelets just go gamble. I'm a real I'm affiliated with them ones that's gon' bring hell through. Power 4 in the 16, I'm a real nigga stand up. I throw 117, bracelets just go gamble. I'm a real screen nigga, therefore I'm hard to handle.
All right, really dope. So most important with a guy like Future, you know, I always think about somebody like Seth Firkins, who was Future's engineer for a very long time. And I like his approach with Future's vocals, you know. So you know, what I had did is I went with the J37 tape in the very beginning, and I used a little bit of the filter. So what I'm going with the J37 tape is I'm trying to smooth off the highs. You feel me? I'm turkey basting, I'm marinating. You feel me? I'm seasoning the highs a little bit. I'm smoothing them out a little bit with the tape, you know, because that's what tape does. It kind of smoothens out you know, the vocal. And also what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to shift the density in the vocal upwards. That's why you see I'm doing like the filter on the tape. I'm rolling off like 50 hertz right out the gate, you feel me? And you know, tape has a natural mid-range bump, so I'm rolling off the lows of his vocal, and I'm using the tape knowing like tape, you know, gives more density in the mid-range. So I'm trying to shift up all that power in his vocal upwards, because his vocal is already so dense. So rolling off the bottom and knowing that tape has a natural mid-range bump.
I'm affiliated with them ones that's gon' bring hell through. Power 4 in the 16, I'm a real nigga stand up. I throw 117, bracelets just go gamble. I'm a real screen nigga.
So it's like, as an engineer, you kind of gotta like understand like density areas. You feel me? What part is thick? What part is skinny? You feel me? Like a situation where you're looking at a mannequin in a mall, and you know the mannequin might have like a really fucking a small head, but then the torso is really big because it's fitting like a jacket. You feel me? Type shit like that. You know, so you gotta understand like with your ears what parts are thick and what parts are skinny. So you hear like I'm rolling off the bottom, the vocal sounds more clearer, but it's not losing body, even though I rolled off a lot of low end, like 50 hertz. You feel me? Just because I know the tape has the mid range bump, it's still giving it that Georgia peach plumpness, right? And I used that tape before because I know I'm about to do a high shelf, right? So I don't want this high end to be all brittle and shit, especially because I'm using a digital EQ F6. And most importantly, you know, he said he's too hard to handle. So I used a cue that is a little bit tighter to get that low end to be super tight with Future. You feel me? You don't want that low end to be too like sloppy, you know, because his voice is kind of like really deep with all that power. So most importantly too, we just have like working that low end with a filter as well as a low shelf, and then I had like a dynamic EQ right here, and you know this shit sounded really good. Just using a little dynamic EQ on certain words that have like a little bit of harshness, I cut them out, right? And this is a trick right here I learned from you know, Futures Engineer, where you do a high shelf and you do a dip, you know, and because you do that dip, it kind of makes the high shelf pop out even more type shit, you know.
I'm affiliated with them ones that's gon' bring hell through. Power 4 in the 16, I'm a real nigga stand up. I throw 117 bracelets, just go game. I'm affiliated with them ones that's gon' bring hell through. Power 4 in the 16, I'm a real nigga stand up. I throw 117. I'm affiliated with them ones that's gon' bring hell through. Power 4 in the 16, I'm a real nigga stand up. I throw 117, race bitches just go gamble. I'm a real street nigga, therefore I'm hard to handle.
All right, so yeah, that's what we got with working with right there. And after that, we use the Waves Sibilance. I like this one a lot. I prefer it over Waves de-esser right here because it has the look ahead feature. You know, all de-essers have a look ahead feature. You know, they don't just react in the moment as the harshness is coming to them. Especially sometimes there's like back to back S's and stuff. So every de-esser has some form of look ahead to it, I'd hope, right? And with the Sibilance, it just gives you a little bit more flexibility because you get to pick the range. So you know how low is the de-esser gonna go? Like we playing limbo. How low can you go, motherfucker? Well, I'm gonna tell you, don't go more than a certain amount of dBs, my guy, right? And you know, if I only wanted it to go up to like 4, then you know it can only go to 4. So you know, it's a situation too where I just use the look ahead, and the look ahead just makes it a lot more responsive. You know, that's why I picked it over regular Waves DS.
I'm affiliated with them ones that's gon' bring hell through. Power 4 in the 16, I'm a real nigga stand up. I throw 117 bracelets, just go gamble. I'm a real screen nigga, therefore I'm hard to handle.
I like that de-esser. It's a lot more forgiving. I mean, you see sometimes I'm de-essing up to 10 dB of de-essing and you can't really hear it. You don't hear like it's ducking the vocal, you know? So I like that, you know? And sometimes I might pick the Waves de-esser on purpose, just because I know it's gonna give me that pumping sound. Maybe that's what I'm going for. So after that, we have the Wave C4, using that bass comp to control that low end on Features vocal and the high shelf.
I'm affiliated with them ones that's gon' bring hell through. Power 4 in the 16, I'm a real nigga stand up. I throw 117, race bitches just go gamble. I'm a real
Most important thing that I gotta just say is I'm just trying to bring solidity, especially to that low mid. So I put the optical mode. So in general, you know, I don't want the release time of the low end to be bouncing around too much. I want to really stabilize his vocal so it could be present in the mix. So presence sometimes is about the movement of the vocal. You know, you got too much of a faster release time. It's bouncing up back and forth. You can't really focus on it. Like a camera can't really focus on a object that's moving that much. You feel me? Okay, so after that we have an API 2500 on a Future vocal, and this is giving us like a really modern, you know, really jagged edge. And you see I'm using like a fucking ratio of like 10. You feel me? So this is just like kind of like damn near hard, kind of clipping the vocal, hard limiting the vocal.
I'm affiliated with them ones that's gon' bring hell through. Power 4 in the 16, I'm a real nigga stand up. I throw 117 bracelets, just go gamble. I'm a real screen nigga, therefore I'm hard to handle. I'm affiliated with them ones that's gon' bring hell through. Power 4 in the 16, I'm a real nigga.
So that, just the fact that I'm using like such a hard ass knee, you feel me? And also the thrust circuit too. We're not looking at the booty, you feel me? We pushing it up a little bit more, looking at like the neck and stuff like that, the vocal going into the compressor. So it's reacting a little bit more different. And yeah, I just like what that's doing. It's kind of working like a limiter on the vocal. And then we have an RVox, you know, bringing in back that low mid density that we kind of just been cutting off with the F6 and the C4 and all that stuff like that. And we even had an SSLG that was, tidying up a little bit of the low end. Let's look at that.
I'm affiliated with them ones that's gon' bring hell through. Power 4 in the 16, I'm a real nigga stand up. I throw 117 bracelets, just go gamble. I'm a real screen nigga.
Most important move with this is like using the airband on the SSL ×3. You feel me? Like we back in elementary school, ×3 that bitch. So we ×3 in the 16, so like crazy up there type of kilohertz type shit, like 30K plus or whatever. And we're only doing 1 point of that, and that's just giving like a subtle air to the vocal.
I'm affiliated with them ones that's gon' bring hell through. Power 4 in the 16, I'm a real nigga stand up. I throw 117 bracelets, just go.
But I like it. Kind of provides like a subtle oxygen tank to the vocal, and just a tad bit of height. It just makes the vocals like 1 inch taller type shit like that in the speakers. So that's coming down to the high frequencies. Like if you want a vocal to float up a little bit more into the mix, you maybe look towards a subtle high shelf, right? Or we have the RVox right here, just adding a little bit of that squeeze, like Indiana Jones with the walls coming in between, adding a little bit of that squeeze to the vocal.
I'm affiliated with them ones that's gon' bring hell through. Power 4 in the 16, I'm a real nigga stand up. I throw 117 bracelets, just go gamble.
All right, and then after that we have the Slate Digital Fresh Air. And that's just pretty much bringing a little bit of Lysol, spray into the vocal, freshening things up.
I'm affiliated with them ones that's gon' bring hell through. Power 4 in the 16, I'm a real nigga stand up. I throw 117 bracelets, just go. I'm affiliated with them ones that's gon' bring hell through. Power 4 in the 16, I'm a real nigga stand up. I throw 117 bracelets, just go gamble. I'm a real screen nigga, therefore I'm hard to handle.
All right, and then I have a Waves de-esser again. It's only to like 1 to 3 dB once in a while. And then we have the silk vocal, just kind of serving as that last ditch, kind of stopgap type of situation. If anything's poking out, anything out the usual, this will kind of control it.
I'm affiliated with them ones that's gon' bring hell through. Power 4 in the 16, I'm a real nigga stand up. I throw 117 bracelets, just go gamble. I'm a real screen nigga, therefore.
I don't know what it is, but it kind of just makes it sound mainstream, like going like mainstream, not sound wise, but texture wise. That feeling of like the crystallic, you feel me? Like the diamonds and the gems and people's vocal, like it has like a crystal type of quality to it, And I feel like how I'm getting that consistently lately is boosting that fresh air into that damn silk vocal, bruh. And I don't know what it is. It's just doing a certain texture. Then we have J37 working on that slap tape.
I'm affiliated with them ones that's gon' bring hell through. Power 4 in the 16, I'm a real nigga stand up. I throw 117 bracelets, just go.
Yeah, so I kind of preferred that specifically here. It was like a good contrast of analog delay compared to like the main vocal chain, which is mostly like digital stuff. A nice mix of kind of like a modern type of stuff, like the SSLG channel and the API 2500 and the F6 and so you feel me, C4, So I just kind of wanted to bring in a subtle vintage tone that can't be really heard but felt due to delay. And then we have the Manny reverb on small hall, and it's just creating a pocket of space for future.
I'm affiliated with them ones that's gon' bring hell through. Power 4 in the 16, I'm a real nigga stand up. I throw 117 bracelets, just go gamble. I'm a real screen nigga, therefore I'm.
And most important thing is too, we just compressing the reverb. Compressing a reverb is a very important thing. Maybe one day I'll talk about it, but when you compress the reverb, like even when you use like an R comp or whatever, when you compress the reverb, what it does is it makes the reverb more dense. You feel me? It adds more thickness to the reverb. And also, it can make the reverb sound longer because it will bring up like the low level details in the decay of the reverb to make them sound like longer. So you can get away with a shorter time. That's why I used a small hall, then I compressed it to make it feel longer than what it really is. So then we have a doubler stomp, and doubler stomp always goes perfect with an auto-tune vocal though, rolling off most of the low end, the top end, but it always goes perfect with an auto-tune vocal because it has like a modulation quality that's gonna mask the auto-tune.
I'm affiliated with them ones that's gon' bring hell through. Power 4 in the 16, I'm a real nigga stand up. I throw 117 bracelets, just go gamble. I'm affiliated with them ones that's gon' bring hell through. Pour a 4 in the 16, I'm a real nigga stand up. I throw 117, race bitches, just go gamble.
All right, after that, we have the API 2500. We're using that on parallel and just the quickest attack, hard knee, all that stuff like that. And I think there was like a contrast here. See, this is on old mode. So old mode is a little bit less responsive. I think it kind of changes how aggressive the compressor is. Newer mode is kind of like that snappy little brother that's agitated and hungry as fuck. You feel me? And the old mode is kind of like the calmer, older brother who's just chilling right now. You feel me? So that's what I wanted on my parallel compression, more aggression, and I reinforced it with the hard knee. You feel me? Even a hard knee in itself is going to make the compressor sound more aggressive,
I'm affiliated with them ones that's gon' bring hell through. Pour a 4 in the 16, I'm a real nigga stand up. I throw 117, bracelets, just go gang.
And I'm just trying to make sure that transient doesn't double up. So the hardest attack, you feel me? And also using that L1 as well. So to get a little bit more distortion out of that. And I know Futures engineer Seth Ferkins, he liked to use the L1. I think he used it on the actual vocal itself, but I just used it on parallel compression, you feel me? So after that, we have the ad-libs for Future right here. We just rolling off most of the bottom end, extending the top end so you can hear you can hear all of that. You can soak in all that character of the vocal. Sometimes when you cut more and more high end, you lose more character. You feel me? Because the real true hell frequency is what tells you like the tone of somebody's voice and everything like that. Like low mid is just like the feeling and the weight, but the actual like quality of somebody's voice, whether it be a raspy voice, whether it be like a very lethargic type of voice, a spitting type of voice they might have, or a high fairy type of voice, most of that will be interpreted like up there, you feel me, type shit. This is what your ears is tuned for, up here type shit. So when you start getting aggressive with your high end, you feel me, you could lose some of that, so be wary of that. So I'm using the L1 to generate some distortion, using the J37, and the J37 is actually what's darkening up my ad-libs through 7.5 IPS, you feel me? So I'm degrading the high end rather than cutting it off, which that's gonna produce two different types of sounds, you feel me?
I'm affiliated with them ones that's gon' bring hell through. Pour a 4 in the 16, I'm a real nigga stand up. I throw 117, bracelets, just go gamble. I'm a real screen nigga.
Yeah, so I really like how that sounds, and then we use the wave sook vocal towards the back end to keep everything under control.
I'm affiliated with them ones that's gon' bring affiliated. Stand up. Gamble, go gamble. Affiliated. Stand up.
All right, most important thing is that we're actually compressing the reverb, like what I had just told your ass about. You compress that reverb and it just makes the reverb thicker. So it's like comparing contrast. I want the small hall in the beginning to be like, not as thick as this reverb, because I'm compressing this reverb more than the other one. So I'm using compare and contrast, hey, this is kind of a skinny reverb, this is a thicker reverb, and that in a sense kind of like separates it, gives a little separation to each. And then we use the API 2500 on parallel compression mode for the ad-libs, giving them some density. So that's pretty much the end of the video here today. I hope you guys did like this. If you did enjoy it, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Also down below, drop some more suggestions for artists that y'all want to see, and if you guys do want the preset, you can check it in the description down below. So I just want to say thanks a lot for being a great part of my YouTube family. Appreciate y'all now, YouTube gang. Peace.